Hi there, Aquarius. Welcome to your mid-January 2019 love reading. It's Raina here. I keep getting the tower. I wonder if it's because we have a... oh yeah, we have a lunar eclipse. And for you, this is actually falling in your relationship sector. A lunar eclipse. So... very powerful full moon. Now you have a lot of major arcana cards. Okay. God, I haven't gotten the Four of Cups in a long time. It's kind of weird. It's almost like it's like I forgot that it existed. I used to always get that card. Now, very rarely. I'm tempted to pick another card. I will. I'll just pick another card with it. Okay. So this reading is intended for people who are single and looking or in a troubled relationship. Oh yeah, and this is the status of your love life right now. Now, the funny thing is, I think the Tower card connects to the planet Mars. I would think it should be Uranus or Pluto. Just by, Uranus is your ruler. And that sudden surprises, shocks, things like that. That's perfect for the Tower card. And yet, it's not, I don't think that's the case. I think it's Mars and Pluto, just because of the transformative element to it. But anyway, the Tower card is about change, but it's something that can happen, maybe a sudden change, and that certainly is eclipse energy that takes what was maybe in a state of complacency, a state of like something was not quite right, stagnation, and maybe blows the lid off of it in order to, have growth. And I mean, that's ultimately expansion is important, isn't it? And if something is just in a place where it needs that, it's almost like needs that purification. That's why I say Pluto. Then something has to give, pressure builds. And it's like this explosion. Now, this may be something that you are reeling from already, that you have been reeling from. You had what was a lunar eclipse? Yeah, I think it was a lunar eclipse in your sign back in the summer. Well, back in late July, let's put it that way. So perhaps this is not something recent, or something that is about to happen. Maybe this is something that has already happened. And it's been 6 months ago that it happened. The point is that it is affecting your love life. And this may be in a good way. The Tower card doesn't mean necessarily calamity. It could mean that you feel like you are just totally changing things up and that you have left the past behind in a big way. But if this is eclipse related, this could be with a personal relationship. And I don't think that it's anything that is completely a surprise. I think if there's ever an upheaval of sorts, it's something that is a long time coming. If you're single, this could simply mean love at first sight. Could be like you just found the person of your dreams. I'm going to look in this book. I just happen to have this book in front of me, so I just want to see, just for the heck of it, if they give any more keywords, because this is kind of like an important card, but I think sometimes it's a misunderstood card. And yeah, like, I mean, and they can put it better than I. Collapse of an old way of life, a crisis point, release from bondage, unavoidable change. Now, release from bondage is such a big deal, you know, for an Aquarius, because, you know, a committed relationship can feel like bondage for an Aquarius. It's always kind of like ambivalence, getting involved with somebody seriously for Aquarius, because you do love your independence so much. The death of an illusion, disappointment, shattering false beliefs, a change of residence, separation, divorce. So yeah, separation. I like this. Collapse of plans. Well, not that. That wasn't what I saw. Breaking down outmoded forms. Demolition of useless structures. Okay, that one is really important because, you know, I said that you're ruled by Uranus, but you're also ruled by Saturn. And there are some Aquarians who are more conservative, who might tend towards the Capricorn, or the, you know, the Saturn influence. And maybe you even have inner planets in Capricorn. You may be quirky in your own Aquarian way, but you may also hold very traditional values that have been keeping you down, that are outmoded, that no longer serve you. And so this, an example would be if you just have some kind of issue with marriage and you just think that you have to do things a certain way. Now, I just got done with another reading and I was saying the same thing, is that it seems that, I think I've been getting the Hierophant several times about this idea of conforming to cultural expectations or religious indoctrination, and how does that play into you evolving to this point in your life. You may realize that some of these things were messages that were given to you from childhood, and that they're no longer valid in your life. But it's hard to kind of get into that new mindset, because old habits do die hard. So it's kind of one of those situations of, I don't know, maybe being a bit being a bit like torn between two scenarios or ways of life. And I do feel that, you know, this Leo eclipse, and I was just reading, blood moon, super moon, is total eclipse of the heart. Maybe that's what I'll call that. It's cheesy, but it's clickbait, right? That's all that matters, clickbait. So just thinking about this, because this is the grand finale of that eclipse energy for the past, you know, 2.5+ years between, no, I said 2.5, I meant 1.5 years, with you and Leo, the grand finale of this. And so it's possible that a lot has changed in the last 1.5 years in terms of your relationships. So this is not necessarily the only kind of hit to that primary relationship. This may just be the what do they call that? The last straw, or whatever. The final blow. In the past position here, we have the 9 of Wands. And you look at, I mean, the greatest thing about the Rider-Waite deck are Pamela Coleman-Smith's illustrations, because they are so evocative. They really do connect with what the card means. And you can, if you were to describe this person's face, what would be one adjective that you would use? I would say wary, you know, leery, kind of suspicious. The Nine of Wands is about constructing boundaries, having boundaries up, maybe having a wall up based upon past violations by somebody. So that's why I say the final blow, because there may have been other blows. And you know, Aquarius is a sign, I think I've pointed this out in the past, where it's very possible that, you know, somebody cheating on you is not the end of the world, where you're not like one of those possessive types of people where you just like go bananas over that. But it's about the idea of it, the concept behind it, that might really rankle you. Is this thing of like, hey, I thought that you loved me. I thought that you respected me, and that you would show me respect by not being deceptive in, you know, going behind my back and things like that. So it may be just the idea of it that bothers you rather than the infidelity angle. But just the fact that the person wasn't straight with you, that they were deceiving you, that might be what really bothers you. And yet you might have been able to tolerate infidelity if they promised to stop doing it. And maybe you have gone back and forth with them for several years. And now you realize, it's finally like that aha moment with the Tower card, that this is not going to change. And then that brings into the mix all kinds of feelings of like, you know, sadness that it's over with and blah, blah, blah. The challenge card is the Moon card. And this could describe the other person. Perhaps they are a Pisces, which is the sign adjacent to you. But this card represents, again, oh yeah, you know, the lunar eclipse. Hello. But in addition to that, so that could be the catalyst for that final blow, that final Tower moment. You know, secrets can come out, maybe just gushing forth. But also, and that's, by the way, that's depending on where you live, it will either be on the 20th or the 21st of January. So the other thing about this card is that it could be talking about deception. Their deception, or your self-deception, that you keep believing somebody's lies that you know darn well are lies, that you keep believing they're empty promises or whatever, and expecting something to change, you know? Remember what they say about insanity. Kind of that thing. Doing things the same way and expecting different results. Sounds pretty insane to me. And actually, the funny thing is, the Moon card connects with insanity, you know, with mental health issues, to put it more in a more delicate and politically correct way, and also addictions. So addiction, we always think of substance abuse, and this could be on your end as well, or the other person that is causing, you know, if it's the other person, it's causing them to be, if you want to call it, weak-willed, where they tend to fall into the same traps because they are not really in control of their why can't I talk? Faculties. Faculties. Or on your end, if you have some kind of an addiction, it may enable you, I should say, to tolerate bad behavior. So that might be something that is a bigger issue than mere infidelity, is your own disarray in your own life. And I think that the Tower card will shed light on that in your life. It will, and I'm talking about especially with the lunar eclipse, that will shed a light for you on how other people are affecting you in your relationships to other people, how that may be impacting you negatively specifically. What is coming in is represented by the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this is connected to the planet Jupiter. And this Jupiter, if we look at Jupiter as a transit, it's currently in Sagittarius and will be until December of 2019. So it's going to be for virtually the whole year in your 11th house, which is the house that you rule, which has been called the luckiest house, Aquarius. So you have Jupiter in your own house of hopes and wishes and friendships. This may be a year where you are expanding your social base like you really need to. Most of you already have a very extensive one. And it could be that your social circle brings luck to you in some way, and also your wish fulfillment happens. So it's a possibility that you're going to have a wonderful year in spite of whatever is going on relationship-wise. However, it could mean that maybe you find that person, you align yourself with the right person through your friendships. And I think Venus is going to be entering this house as well. Or maybe it already is in there now. At this, I don't have my ephemeris in front of me in Sagittarius. I mean, that Venus would be joining Jupiter in this 11th house, so that could really add to this love angle. Maybe you find love through your circle of friends. You know what? I think it might be even in February when Venus enters Sagittarius. I'm not entirely sure. But in any case, you will have that to look forward to if that is the case. But yeah, even without that, I was just feeling that might be something that comes true for you, where you just have, you're enjoying a lot of expansion socially, and maybe with groups that you belong to, and you find a more appropriate person for you in that type of group. So if you're single, that can be good as well. And the Wheel of Fortune is also just about aligning, feeling a sense of alignment in your life. And that can feel really great because you feel like it's almost having like the golden touch, the Midas touch. And also just really feeling on top of your game, that everything that you're doing is leading to something good occurring. And so I have here as the outcome card, the Four of Cups. Now, I picked an additional card because typically when I see this card, now just think about, if you don't know what this already means, look at the person's body language. And what does that suggest to you? I think most people would see this as somebody's refusal to accept a certain thing happening. Now, what is happening? The cloud, which we could say the universe, is giving this person a cup or presenting this person a cup. If we say that the cup represents love or affection, the cup is emotions. Now, this could be a water sign. Again, Pisces, below that moon card, and Cancer is ruled by the moon, so there you go on that front. And the other sign that is ruled by that is connected to water and cups is Scorpio. And that's the one that I think you tend to gravitate towards, even though you guys are so different in temperament. But anyway, you may feel like this dissatisfaction with your current options. And I think also, the cups in general speak to just that sense of maybe emotional inertia and a feeling flat emotionally. And so what that suggests to me in connection to the Tower is that it's possible that a relationship that you were in was already on the skids, in terms of like you were already not compatible. If you were with this person, it might have been because you were both parents and you felt like you had to be there. And now you kind of are owning that sense of dissatisfaction, and you realize how destructive it is to settle for less emotionally, because then you have to deal with a lot of unnecessary drama in the form of the Tower, because people do tend to go and make, want their needs being met. And if they don't feel like they can find it in one relationship, they will tend to go outside of that relationship. So we have, in addition to that, the King of Wands. Well, isn't that a difference between night and day? The King of Wands is a card of enthusiasm and leadership. And so, of course, this could definitely be somebody else who is here at the same time as that other individual, that water sign, maybe that Pisces or that Cancer, or even though it's not connected to the moon specifically, the Scorpio individual. And this King of Wands would be much more compatible with you. Again, Leo, that's what I associate it with. The other fire signs besides Leo are Sagittarius and Aries, which is going to be a sign. You're compatible with all of these signs. Now, it's the case that Leo is your opposite sign, and Leo is that eclipse energy too. So the bottom line is that with the King of Wands, it may be a facet of you. Maybe you, with the Nine of Wands in that past position, you have been left feeling unsure of yourself, and you lost your sense of confidence even because of a toxic relationship that you're dealing with, or if you're single, maybe from the past, a toxic relationship. So the point being that I feel like you're back in control, you're back in the saddle again, Aquarius. You may have to go through some dramatic, revelations, or just in your own emotional life, coming to terms with something, but that's okay. That's not the end of the world. Sometimes I think Aquarius represses some of their emotions, and that can lead to repressing things that need to be brought into the light of day in terms of relationship issues and the like, and just kind of getting things out in the open, which the Tower card certainly specializes in, and moving on with your life. And maybe this King of Wands is somebody who, maybe that's who came into your life, and that's why it's in the past position. And so anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Have a great rest of January. Take care. Bye.